I try to make muscle testing as scientific as I possibly can, which is one of the reasons that I'm teaching these classes, because the other people whose classes I have taken don't do that. And therefore, you're testing the subject's reaction to an energy that they are holding that is being emitted from a food or a supplement or a battery or a poison. Maybe it's a toothpaste. You want to test somebody for 3 different toothpastes to see whether they shouldn't be taking this one, they should be taking that one. I want an actual substance in the person's hand. I don't want a piece of paper with the substance written on it. That's radionics. There are all sorts of things people do that may or may not work to some extent. We're going to be as scientific as we can. Number 3 I've got up here in order to, which may not be the same numbers for the people looking at home. In order to be as accurate as possible, you must be as objective as possible. This is one of the most important requirements of muscle testing. Lack of objectivity is mostly because people have been taught improperly. Objectivity meaning that if you're testing somebody and you're sure that this particular substance is horrible for them, like maybe you're testing them for a packet of NutraSweet or Equal, which you've been told is awful, which I do agree is awful. But for some reason, it doesn't weaken them. And so you start pushing harder, and you go, ah, yes, it does weaken them. No, 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 no. The idea is not for you to make the substance do what you want it to do. The idea for you in all of muscle testing is to determine whether or not that substance is weakening or not weakening the other person. We want as little of you in this as possible, even though you're a major part of it, even though you're using your muscle to determine this. I went to so many different classes where even the doctors and physicists and acupuncturists and chiropractors who were teaching the muscle testing were doing it wrong. And I know because I was one of the people that they demonstrated on, and somebody would give me a packet of Equal and test me and say, my goodness, you're the first person I've seen that isn't weakened by Equal. And I go, well, you know, okay, that doesn't mean it's good for me. It just means my body could handle that one packet. I still wouldn't use it. And in one case, the instructor heard the commotion of this woman yelling out, this is not possible. Now, the woman was a good muscle tester because she noticed and made a point of saying that she could see that I wasn't weakened by the Equal. Okay, that's a good muscle test subject. The doctor came over and said, what's going on here? And what ended up happening was the doctor said it was impossible. This was an acupuncturist. She retested my muscle strength, which you will learn shortly. She put the packet of Equal back in my hand, and then she applied enough strength that Godzilla could not have resisted her to prove that this packet of Equal absolutely, in fact, did weaken me, and turned to the person who had muscle tested me correctly and found that it didn't and said, you see, you just did it wrong, and walked away. And that's the reason we have so many professionals out there that are incorrectly applying muscle testing, and it's been given a bad name. Because many, probably most, but many of the people doing muscle testing should not be doing it. They're not gathering information. They're just doing what they want to do and proving to you that the supplement that they're selling to you is the one that's good for you by making it seem as though it strengthens you. That's not the idea. I sometimes tell people, and this is good for everybody to know, people will ask me, how could you determine, somebody's in some other state, and they're going to go to some health practitioner they don't know who does muscle testing. How might you be able to determine whether the person you're going to that says they do muscle testing, also called kinesiology, are they any good? And I've thought about that a lot, and the answer I normally give people is, you can't really know, but something that would help would be to get them on the phone before you come in and ask them, are you almost always right? And the muscle test, you know what's good for the people. You've asked them questions. Maybe you've looked at their questionnaire. Maybe you know their symptoms. You've looked at their blood chemistries. You know what they need. And the muscle test is just a verification? Or are you often wrong and something you thought was going to be good for them tested weak, and you went, wow, that's amazing, huh? And you went on to test other things. And shut up and wait for them to answer. No more questions. And if the person says, oh, no, I know what the person needs, I can tell by other things, it's really just a verification, run as fast as you can and go somewhere else. I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I am still amazed at how often substances that I was convinced were going to be the right substance for somebody based on their problems were, in fact, very weakening. Maybe there was an herb the person was allergic to.